host, Kelly Sparks, aka Big Dude. So today I have 3 different bourbons. These were the top 3 finishers in the Texas Bourbon Shootout that I was actually involved in this past January. Well, no, it was this January. It was 2019, but it was almost a year ago. We have in front of me about 3/4 of an ounce of Garrison Brothers Balmorea Balcones Texas Blue Corn Bourbon and Iron Root Republic's Promethean Bourbon. So I have the black shrink wrap on these because one, and I'll tell you which one I noticed was lighter in color than the other 2, and I immediately knew which one it was. So I'm trying not to pay attention to the color. I'm only going to pour a dab out of each one and then do a taste. We've got a pretty clean palate. We're just going to do just a touch. Just a touch. And these are the top 3 finishers. Top 3 finishers. First place was Garrison Brothers. Second place was Balcones. And third place was Iron Root. Not getting too much on the nose. Might not have poured enough in there, but oh well. It's all about the taste. So it's got like this dark chocolatey hay note. I really only got like 1 sip out of that one. I'm just going to pour the whole thing in there. Sorry. And just try not to pay attention to the color of said whiskey. Try not to look at it. A blind tasting. So it's got a really nice flavor. It's got this weird hayfield note that's lingering in the back of the throat. Tell it's a little bit higher in proof. The finish is pretty long. It's pretty tasty. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's tasty. I'm actually going to slide this over here in front of that so I can't see it in comparison. But I don't know if I would pick that as number 1. And that very well could be the number 1 bourbon that was picked. Let's try not to. Oh, it's pretty dark. So I know the Balcones and the Balmorea were both pretty dark. So Iron Root was a little bit lighter in color. This one, really not much on the nose either. I mean, I do get notes, but maybe my sniffer's off today. My sniffer might be off. It's got a super long finish. Very, very creamy mouthfeel. Oily. It's got this sharp spike as soon as you swallow. And it kind of fades away. Trying to use a technique that I stole from old Fred Minnick. Try not to think about what these might be and just think about the whiskey in the moment and my thoughts on it specifically. At this point, I would probably pick this one over the first glass. I'm going to have another little sip. It's got some heat to it. Now, both the Balmorea, actually all three I believe are over 100 proof. But the Balmorea is like 115, and the Balcones is upwards of 125. This one's got this nice little, it's like chocolatey, nutty, just nutty chocolate note that I kind of like. We'll see. Alright, the last one. So, pour that one up. Try to pour so little where it really wouldn't be noticeable. This one's got a very nice nose, but it's really, and I'm thinking my sniffer might be off. I hope I'm not coming down with something. No, I'm not coming down. I'm not coming down with anything. I'm coming down with a buzz. It's got this mintiness to it. Actually, all three of these are really tasty. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really think that the three different distilleries here both put out excellent product, and it's a far departure from what you find in Kentucky. Like the flavor profiles they get from the Texas corn in the area, it definitely changes things. Kind of like the way that one's going too. Now, I hate it because I'm gonna go ahead and finish. I'm gonna go ahead and dump the rest in there. What is it, Barney? Then we'll find out. Usually in a blind tasting, I think the first one always gets the bad run. Gets the bad luck. Bad luck draw. And I hate that because that one's empty. But I'm gonna go through it real quick and just from last to first. That one smells like sweet hay and corn. Really oily, long finish. That's kind of what I like, especially on a good whiskey. You don't. I think I've said this before. You don't want a long finish on a shitty whiskey. It just keeps tasting like shit. Let's see. This one has a it's got some heat to it. This one has a sharpness that I can associate with like the Willet product that I personally don't find appealing. If you like Willet products, whatever this is could be right up your alley. It's almost like that sharp perfume note that I get. And let's see how this one goes. Well, this one has another. It's got a longer finish on that second pull. Not near as much heat as the other two. Different flavors overall, but they're nice. I think in this setting, I'd have to probably go with my third glass. And I try not to think about which one might be which, but I have a feeling which ones are which, but which are which? I'm going to go ahead and finish these off. Well, you know what? I'll save the last sip for figuring out what they are. Unfortunately, I think, yeah, I'm going to have to go first. I think this is going to pretty much go the same way it ended at the Texas Bourbon Shootout. I really feel like third place, this is going to be Iron Root. Second is going to be Balcones. And first is going to be Garrison Brothers. I feel like this one's Garrison Brothers because this one has is hotter on the palate. But I don't know. I was confused at the shootout, so I'm going to pick this one first. Yeah, but this one, and I got it marked on the bottom. So in third place, I have Iron Root Promethean, Iron Root Republic. It's still a solid bourbon, and they're taking their time with their stuff. And I really like the guys at Iron Root, not just because they're soulless gingers like yours truly. The Licorice Brothers, Mama Licorice, she's a trip. I haven't even edited that video that I went out. I've got like 2 hours worth of footage that I still need to edit, but they still make a solid product. But I think the overwhelming heat and flavors coming from these two kind of mask how pretty this one really is, because it is a pretty whiskey. So if you hadn't had the opportunity, that's still such a good whiskey. Go over to the Iron Root website, Iron Root Republic, and check out their story. They've got a pretty badass story. Those two guys, they apprenticed under I think it was a brandy distiller. So they learned how to make brandy or Armagnac or whatever, and they took those same principles over to making whiskey. So they're doing really cool stuff out there. I'd love to go just hand pick some barrels and do some tastings with them one-on-one. Because just every distillery has experimental stuff that they haven't released yet that is just going to blow people's minds. And these Texas guys, they're thinking outside of the box. All right, so in second place, I have Balcones Blue Corn Bourbon. That's what I thought. So, and it's that, what keyed me off on it was the sharp note. Really, I mean, the heat, it is higher proof, but that sharpness, I get it from a lot of Balcones. I get it from the single malt. I get it from their pot stilled bourbon. Everything I ever got from Balcones, and I have to. I don't know if it's their distillation or their aging techniques, because I heard recently that they're starting to change their aging, the barrels that they age in. They used to age them in quarter barrels, so you aged whiskey for 2 years in a quarter-sized barrel, and you get something almost the same color as this label. I mean, it's dark, and I would only assume that would probably be somewhat due to the aging process, not the distillation. And it has that sharp note, but other than that, the flavors are still wonderful. It's got like this candied hayfield. It's like candied malt like the malt flavor that you get from like a high rye or a 100% rye. It's weird. I mean, it tastes really good. I'm just that sharpness is kind of what threw me off. All right. And last but not least, we have Garrison Brothers Balmorea. Now, I will say this, they are proud of that whiskey, because this one, it used to only come in a pint, a 375, and it was about $70 for a 375. Now they got them in fifths, and they're about $150 for a fifth. So, all in all, I personally will probably never go buy a bottle, but I can appreciate, and I believe it's the, I think it's the oldest registered distiller in Texas. A little over 10 years, but he makes a good product. Yeah, it's just, the flavor just kind of lingers on and on. And I got a little bit left. I might have to throw down a Garrison's blind tasting with some other barrel proof whiskeys. Yeah. It's chocolatey nuts wrapped in cinnamon. That's what it tastes like. So that was my quick down and dirty blind tasting for the top 3 bourbons from the Texas Bourbon Shootout. So that's all I got on this one. If you like to see stuff like this, you can always donate to the cause. All 3 of these whiskeys were donated by my good friend Andrew. You remember Andrew from, he was in the impromptu proper number 12 blind tasting. And he was also in the video where I went to Iron Root Republic and we sat down with those guys before the Texas Bourbon Shootout, and they ran us through a tasting. So if I ever get that video edited, you'll see him again. We went to a distiller's camp at the Iron Root Republic, and I got a lot of footage. I just haven't sat down and cut it up yet. I might just upload it all I'll upload it, and then y'all can just watch it all as is, uncut. Yeah. If you're in the East Texas area, coming beginning of February, we'll be having the next annual Bourbon and Bow Ties event, where we have a bunch of distillers from Texas bring their stuff in, and they'll get to taste it, and they'll have a bourbon trail there set up, and you just pay a fee. You buy a ticket, and you get to walk around, drink whiskey, and feel like high society. So don't forget to check the description below. I got links down there to check out if you want to help support around here. And yeah, check out the Bearded Idiots. Like always, folks, I have nothing to toast with. How about some Booker's or Blanton's? Like always, folks. Come here. Come up here. Come up. Like always, take care of yourself. Don't drink and drive. Be safe. Drink some whiskey. Share with your friends and family. And have a nice day. Have a good night.